I'll only ever use oyster sauce a handful of times in a year for my cooking, but I always feel like I need to keep it stocked in the fridge, and I do always keep it stocked. Because while oyster sauce doesn't really sound like the most appealing of sauces, I mean, it's a sauce supposedly made from oysters. If you leave it out of a recipe, it's gonna make a huge difference, and not in a good way. Now, I'm pretty sure anyone who's bought or used oyster sauce is familiar with the Red Panda brand of oyster sauce. Fairly cheap, reliable, and it's pretty much the standard in taste for oyster sauce. But I wanted to see if it was worth making my own oyster sauce here in the studio. Because you see, I live in South Korea, which is like the world's second largest exporter of oysters. But not only do I live in Korea, I live near a city called Kyunghwo, which is responsible for a majority of those oysters coming out of Korea. So oysters are pretty damn cheap where I live. So in this video, I'm gonna be making my own oyster sauce from scratch, comparing it to the classic brands available in stores, and then I might go ahead and put them up against each other in a little stir-fried rice comparison. Before we do anything, I of course am gonna need fresh oysters. And while I could buy a big bag of whole oysters and shuck them myself, there are people who are much better at shucking oysters who sell those shucked oysters, to save people the time and the effort of shucking oysters themselves. So I'll save myself the time, mess, and effort by using already freshly shucked oysters, which I picked up at my local market. Now, if you want to do this for yourself, you can also use frozen oysters too. These oysters are pretty clean, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of coarse sea salt to the oysters and then give them a gentle mix. This should help dislodge any dirt or debris, and then I can clean the oysters off in fresh water. I'll let them drain, and then I'm gonna throw them into a wok along with a few liters of water, or enough water to cover all the oysters. To be honest, it doesn't really matter how much because we're gonna be reducing this down by a lot later. I'll bring that water up to a simmer and let the oysters cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then remove the oysters. Now these oysters usually dry to make, you guessed it, dried oysters, but I don't really have a need for dried oysters, so I'm gonna try turn them into oyster garum, which will be a separate video, so make sure you subscribe to see that in the future. Now I didn't throw away that water that the oysters were simmering in because that's what's gonna become our oyster sauce. And so I let that cook for a couple hours to reduce down. Now, oyster sauces usually have sugar in them as well as caramel coloring, so I figured why not just make a caramel syrup, which will add sweetness, some caramel flavor, as well as some color. So I added some sugar to a small saucepan, gently cooked it until it turned brown, and then carefully added water little by little to create a caramel syrup. And now you want to be careful when adding the water because it will instantly boil and the steam will be hot. So I also had this jar of molasses in my studio, which I ordered from America, and I wanted to see what would be better in my oyster sauce. My caramel syrup tasted pretty good, sweet, toasty, and not too bitter, but the molasses gave a nice dark sugary taste, which I thought would also go well in this oyster sauce. So I decided to mix the two together for my syrup. After what is probably about 2 hours, my oyster broth has reduced down considerably and is smelling pretty good and oystery. So I turned off the heat and then ran it through a fine mesh sieve to remove any of the final little bits of oyster that remained in the broth. So I've got pretty much everything I kind of need to finish off this oyster sauce. I've got my reduced oyster broth, I've got soy sauce, and this is my caramel syrup that I just made. And then I also added the same amount in molasses. Now I'll be using these two to sort of create that flavor, but then I suspect it's still gonna be pretty thin. So what I've got is this stuff, which is guar gum, which should help thicken this up into a nice saucy consistency. I was gonna use xanthan gum, but unfortunately, xanthan gum was a bit harder to get in time, so I found guar gum, which is apparently a lot more common in Korea, and it came next day, so I ordered that. All I gotta do now is just add sugar and soy sauce and keep tasting this until I like the flavor. I might add some more water to this just to like lighten it a bit if it's too oystery, but we'll see for now. I'm gonna start off by adding just a little bit of sugar, and then just a dash of soy sauce. Start heating this up just to sort of get this mixed in together. We don't really want to cook this or reduce this anymore. We should start to see that color change now into that oyster sauce color. I'm gonna give this a little taste and see what we need more of. It's quite salty, so I'm gonna add some more syrup, and I might just add some water to this too. Just a dash of water. I've never used guar gum before, but I assume you can kind of mix it in just like cornstarch, so I'll take some of this out. I'm gonna add just a little bit, maybe like just that much, see if that works. Oh yeah, that is definitely thickening. Check that out. We'll add this in. There you go, that's the consistency I want. That's looking more like a sauce you would get out of a bottle right there. I'm pretty happy with that consistency and that color. I'm gonna give this one final strain, and then let's get it into a bottle, and then let's compare it. I don't know if you've ever seen that experiment where it's like a tar drop that's being dropped and it like drops every like 50 years. But this is what that feels like, just waiting for this to drop out. This is honestly the cleanest way I can think about doing this. It's gonna take a few minutes, but I've got time. Someone once said in my comments that my superpower is knowing exactly how big of a jar to put my ferments in. And you know what? They're not wrong. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. That's our finished oyster sauce. It's not much, but you know what? It's oyster sauce. So it's been a couple days since I made my oyster sauce, and it's been in the fridge ever since. And in that time, I went and picked up a bottle of the classic stuff I think everyone here knows and loves. And I'm gonna just try the two and compare it. And then I'm just gonna make like a simple egg fried rice with each of these oyster sauces. And I've got soy sauce as well. Really basic, just to really see, like, I wanna keep it as simple as possible so I can really see how much the actual oyster sauce is affecting the flavor. But first, let's compare these by themselves. I was gonna compare the smells of this, but before I put the oyster sauce in this jar, I had like a really strong garlic and chili ferment in here. So this just smells like garlic and chili, which, you know what, if that has infused into the oyster sauce, that could be pretty tasty. But can't really smell oyster sauce from this at the moment. But this, it doesn't smell that oystery either, actually. It smells a bit grainy. So let's try them and see if they actually taste different or if mine tastes better. I guess I should just try the classic first. Salty, it's a little bit sweet, not actually that salty, but also doesn't really taste that strong of oyster either. So I think if you didn't know that this was oyster sauce and you didn't know what oyster sauce was, you wouldn't really think this was made from oysters. You wouldn't pick up oysters from this flavor. Let's try my one. I'm gonna say the consistency of mine, I think mine has a little more air in it, like little bubbles, so it's a little bit thicker, but I think I probably added a little bit too much guar gum. I will say that this has more overall flavor to it than my one. But when I look at the ingredients, this also has MSG in it and a few other ingredients. I think this actually uses flour to thicken, whereas mine I used guar gum. So maybe if I use flour and then I added some, you know, MSG, it could taste very similar, but like, I don't really think one is better than the other. Like mine does just feel like a homemade version where it's just kind of like oystery. So I think the real test will be putting it into some fried rice and seeing how the fried rice actually tastes. And I'm not an expert at making fried rice, but I do dabble. So we're not gonna comment on my fried rice making method today. I'm gonna be measuring out equal oyster sauce, the store-bought brand and my one into these bowls along with some soy sauce. And then I'm gonna use those to flavor 2 separate batches of fried rice. I always eyeball fried rice, so I'm not gonna be following a recipe, but I'm gonna just add as much oyster sauce as I would usually. So 20-ish grams. So mine still looks quite a bit lighter than the store-bought stuff, but it still does have a lot of those air bubbles in it too. I've also measured out equal weight in like couple-day-old refrigerated rice, which is perfect for making fried rice. That one is made with my oyster sauce. We've got my oyster sauce and then store-bought oyster sauce. Let's put these against each other and see which one tastes better. Listen, I am by no means a fried rice expert or chef or anything like that, but I feel like these turned out pretty decent for just a home fried rice. So that's the one using my oyster sauce, and then that's the one using store-bought oyster sauce. And I think I'm gonna start with this one first. I don't even know if the amounts of sauce and soy sauce I put in were good enough. It could be too salty, it could be too bland, but let's try this one. You know what, that's just right. Which is classic, it's just exactly how I'd make fried rice at home. That's what I'm used to, that's what I know. I think it did pretty well. It's got that sweetness from the oyster sauce, but you can't really pick out oyster sauce. And it just tastes pretty good, but I think I'm really gonna need to compare it to actually be able to like maybe pick something out. Let's see if I can even pick something out. This isn't the best way to compare this. I think the second time round I made the fried rice, I did it a little bit better, but let's see. And from my one, I'm getting a lot more oyster than compared to the store-bought stuff. And weirdly enough, less salty too. It's a bit lighter and more refreshing. And not because it's been sitting out for maybe like 5 minutes more than that one, but that's actually delicious. If you were to put these two in front of me and I tried both of them, I would pick my one instead of the store-bought one. And you know, like the whole idea of this video was to just see if it was worth making your own oyster sauce at home. Because, I mean, it's not the cheapest sauce, but it's also not the easiest sauce to make. So I wanted to try it out for myself. And I think I've come to the conclusion that if you have access to cheap oysters, it is worth making. If you do not have access to cheap or good oysters, I would say just buy the sauce from the store. But I know at least my one tastes better when it's in cooking, or at least in a fried rice in this situation, than the most popular red labeled famous oyster sauce you can buy in the shops. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, if you have any more suggestions for like any fun, weird fermentation, cooking, preservation videos you want me to try out on this channel, leave them in the comments below. But until next time.